travel crew, look around you. This isn't your average walk in the park. This is where flavor goes to die. Or in my case, where I hope it comes alive. The wind here isn't just wind. It's a living entity, carrying the metallic tang of exposed minerals and a sickly sweet, fermenting scent that hints at something powerful. My heightened senses are screaming, but my cursed tongue remains silent, a constant reminder of why we're here. The ground shifts beneath my boots, a treacherous carpet of roots and bioluminescent fungi that pulse with an unsettling rhythm. I see the snapped branches and rusted tools of those who came before. Stark warnings against complacency. Every rustle in the colossal canopy above could be a new ingredient or a swift end to my quest. My goal is the savage jungle bananas, rumored to thrive in this very hostile landscape. I'm constantly calculating my next move, feeling the vibrations through the soil, listening to the high-pitched hum of unseen life. Standing still is an invitation for disaster in this place. The air is thick with a cloying, syrupy sweetness, almost like overripe fruit left in the sun, but with an underlying sharpness. Do you guys feel that oppressive energy in the air? Or is it just my curse amplifying everything? All right, travel crew, you felt that oppressive energy, right? It's not just in the air, it's in the very ground beneath us, constantly shifting. This isn't a path, it's a puzzle designed by a mad botanist. Every step a calculated risk. I'm pressing my boot down, feeling for the subtle give, the hollow spots that scream trap. My ears are picking up every rustle, every drip, every distant thrum, making it a symphony of potential threats and clues. That cloying sweetness is getting stronger, but it's laced with something metallic now, like old blood and ozone. I'm tracking the subtle shifts in the air currents, how the scent clings to certain pockets of denser foliage. See those glowing fungi? They pulse with a rhythm that's almost hypnotic. But I'm looking for the areas where the bioluminescence is muted, a sign of nutrient depletion. False leads often show signs of rapid decay, a quick burst of life followed by an even quicker collapse. I'm searching for stability within this chaos, a place where the ingredient can truly thrive, not just survive. My heightened senses are a constant barrage, but they also paint a clearer picture of this hostile landscape. Tell me, travel crew, what's your gut telling you about this direction? All right, travel crew, my senses are on fire, and I think we found our target. The air here is thick with that cloying sweetness, now vibrating with a deep, resonant hum. See that ancient, gnarled wood, almost petrified, seeping a dark, viscous liquid? That's it. It's not just sap, it's a living, breathing essence, shimmering with an internal light. I'm using this fallen branch to gently disturb the air around it, watching how the light plays on its surface. The syrup pulses, almost defensively, retracting slightly into the wood as if sensing my intent. It's a slow, deliberate movement, like a predator assessing its prey. This is the barrel-aged syrup, a legend whispered among those who dare venture into these forgotten groves. Its defensive nature, its refusal to yield, feels like a mirror to my own cursed tongue. Suddenly, my hands are tingling, an insistent rhythm building in my fingertips. I can feel the urge, a primal beat demanding release, thrumming through my bones. I have to find something to strike, anything to quell this growing internal drumbeat. Tell me, travel crew, have you ever felt a rhythm so strong it takes over your entire being? You guys, this drumming isn't just in my head anymore. It's in my hands, demanding action. I'm using this sharpened piece of petrified bark, trying to gently coax the barrel-aged syrup from its ancient host. The air around me is thick with that sweet, fermented scent, now tinged with a sharp, almost metallic tang like old copper. As I press the bark against the gnarled wood, the syrup pulses faster, retracting deeper into the fissures. It's not yielding, it's resisting, almost heartening its surface against my touch. My fingertips are vibrating, an insistent beat building, and I can feel my foot tapping an involuntary rhythm against the root-strewn ground. This isn't just sap, it's a living entity, and I've misread its intent. The wood itself feels colder, denser, pushing back with a silent, formidable will. I need to understand its language, not force it. Do you think some ingredients demand respect before they offer their bounty, travel crew? All right, travel crew. This ancient wood demands a different approach. My hands are still drumming, but I'm not fighting it anymore. I'm letting the rhythm guide my touch. I'm tapping the petrified bark against the gnarled wood in a soft, insistent cadence, mimicking the jungle's pulse. The air around me is thick with that sickly sweet metallic tang, but now I detect a faint, earthy undertone, like damp soil after a storm. I'm focusing on the vibrations, feeling for a sympathetic resonance within the ancient trunk. The wood still feels dense, but the resistance is softening, almost yielding to the rhythm. My foot taps an involuntary beat, but it feels less like a curse and more like a conductor's tempo. I'm adjusting the pressure, a delicate dance between persuasion and patience. A thin, dark stream of barrel-aged syrup begins to weep from a fissure, slow and deliberate. It's thick, almost tar-like, smelling intensely of fermented fruit and old copper, but with a new, deep, woody richness. The drumming in my hands intensifies, a triumphant crescendo as the syrup flows. This isn't just extraction, it's a conversation. Do you guys think some ingredients respond better to a gentle rhythm than brute force? All right, travel crew, containing this barrel-aged syrup is a delicate dance with raw power. I'm using these broad, waxy leaves, layered and folded into a tight pouch, secured with resilient jungle twine. The syrup itself, thick as tar, settles slowly, its surface shimmering with an oily sheen. I can smell its concentrated essence now, an almost suffocating sweetness, like 1,000 overripe fruits, but with a sharp, metallic tang that bites at the back of my throat, hinting at its volatile nature. My fingers are drumming a frantic rhythm against the makeshift vessel, an insistent beat that feels like the syrup itself is trying to escape. I'm watching for any subtle shifts, any new vibrations, any signs of internal pressure building. The air around me still hums with that oppressive energy, but now it feels like a silent observer, waiting. This isn't just about holding it. It's about understanding its pulse. Do you guys think this syrup is settling, or is it just biding its time? All right, crew, this isn't just holding a pouch. It's a full-body negotiation with raw, volatile power. I'm leaning into the subtle shifts of the ground, synchronizing my breath with the faint, high-pitched hum of the jungle. The air itself feels like it's pushing against me, thick with that cloying, metallic sweetness of the barrel-aged syrup. My entire body is a counterweight, absorbing every tremor, every internal surge from this potent ingredient. My fingers are a frantic blur against the waxy leaves, a relentless tattoo that echoes the syrup's struggle for release. Now, even my jaw clenches, trying to keep time with this unstoppable rhythm. I can feel the syrup oscillating, a living pulse against my palm, demanding constant, precise adjustments. This isn't just about strength, it's about finding the perfect, fleeting equilibrium in a world that constantly shifts. Do you guys think this ingredient is finally settling? Or is it just testing my resolve? All right, travel crew, this is where the real work begins. I've set up a temporary station using these glowing fungi for light and a naturally heated stone from the jungle floor. The barrel-aged syrup pulses in my crucible, its metallic sweetness now sharper, almost acrid, as I apply precise, focused heat. My fingers twitch, fighting the urge to drum against the rough stone, but I channel that energy into a steady, rhythmic stirring. A sudden tremor from the jungle floor nearly sends the entire batch spilling, but my reflexes are faster, adjusting the crucible with a practiced flick of the wrist. The syrup's viscosity shifts, thickening too quickly, threatening to crystallize into uselessness. I instinctively add a few drops of purified jungle dew, balancing the texture with a delicate, practiced hand. This isn't just cooking. It's a high-stakes dance with chaos. The drumming urge is relentless, a constant thrumming in my bones, making every precise movement a battle. Do you guys feel that intense pressure building? Or is it just the curse pushing me to my limits? All right, travel crew, prepare yourselves. This is the moment we've been building towards. The barrel-aged syrup shimmers, a dark, viscous amber, radiating that intense metallic sweetness I've come to know so well. I bring a tiny, purified drop to my lips, inhaling its complex aroma, deep forest floor, fermented fruit, and a sharp, almost electric tang. My heightened senses are screaming with anticipation, every nerve ending alive. I place the drop on my tongue. And for a fleeting fraction of a second, there's a burst of something, a primal, earthy sweetness, a fleeting warmth. Then the curse hits, not with pain, but with an overwhelming, rhythmic pulse. My hands fly, slapping against the heated stone, a frantic, unstoppable beat echoing through the jungle. The drumming is deafening, a primal urge that vibrates through my entire body, demanding release. This isn't just a reaction. It's a data point, a violent confirmation of the curse's power. I fight for control, channeling the rhythm, observing its intensity. Did you guys feel that raw, untamed energy surge through the air? All right, travel crew, let's talk about the aftershocks of that last ingredient. My hands still hum with the ghost of that rhythm, a constant, low thrumming beneath my skin. The barrel-aged syrup didn't just trigger a reaction, it etched a new frequency into my very being. I feel the vibrations of this jungle floor with an intensity I didn't possess before, every rustle and distant hum amplified. This curse demands a price, but it also sharpens my focus, honing my endurance to an even finer edge. Surviving this place, understanding the savage jungle bananas, required more than just skill. It demanded a deep patience, a strategic dance with the environment. I can still smell the lingering metallic sweetness, now intertwined with the damp earth and the faint electric tang of the air. This jungle was a crucible, forging new instincts within me. I sense a shift, a pull towards lands where the very ground breathes with ancient power, where colossal, weathered stones stand sentinel. What new rhythm do you think awaits us there, travel crew?